Hi, this is Joe again with another movie review, and for today, or for this video, we'll be discussing the 1988 Tom Cruise movie, Cocktail. Well, this was Tom Cruise, Elizabeth Shue, was from the Karate Kid movies, the first one, and Brian Brown as the main characters. What I found out about Cocktail, for those who don't know, is a story about Tom Cruise playing a womanizing bartender who falls in love with a rich chick played by Elizabeth Shue. Excuse me. And with his friend Brian Brown, who was another bartender, and two of them played womanizing bartenders. Well, what I found out about this movie is that this was the movie that holds the dubious distinction of being the very first film to earn a Razzie Award as the worst picture of the year. Now, those of you don't know what the Razzies are, everybody knows what the Oscars are. They are the best movies. The Razzies are the opposite, because they are literally held the night before the Oscars. And they give out awards for the worst movie, the worst actor, actress, supporting actor and actress, worst on-screen couple, worst sequel, or remake, and so forth. So they and the first year they had was for the movies that came out in 1988, and Cocktail got the first Razzie is the worst movie of the year. Well, I don't know why. I mean, true is that the biggest Tom Cruise film, but I don't think it was the worst one. The worst one, I think, was the War of the Worlds movie, the remake that he did, with Steven Spielberg. I think that was the worst, or maybe even the Mission Impossible movies. But the Cocktail is not all that bad of a film, in my opinion. I think it's entertaining enough the whole into it, and it has a great soundtrack in it as well. What the movie is sort of a Tom Cruise gets out of the military service, and he doesn't know what to do with himself. And so his uncle says maybe you should give him some business advice. So he decides to go to college for a while, majoring in business. First, trying to get a job in the business area, but he doesn't have any college degrees or experience or anything like that. So he decides to go to business college. And those of you who are fans of the television series The Jeffersons, look for a cameo by actor Paul Benedict, who played the wacky next door neighbor Mr. Bentley. Look for him in this movie with a beard, which he doesn't look good in, by the way. But he makes a cameo as well of Tom Cruise's professors. And he does have a couple of scenes with him, with Tom Cruise and Paul Benedict in this film. So after he bums out in college, and of course he's also trying to get a job, he went into this bar, which was run by Brian Brown, who was the main bartender, and he said they offers him a job as a bartender. So at first he didn't, Tom Cruise didn't get all the fine nuances down as being a bartender, knew what certain drinks are, or the names for certain drinks. Instead of saying a rum or coke, they said something else. So they had different name for it. So that time he was trying now, of course he got it, and after he quit school, and he really became a buddy with the Brian Brown character. And they said, oh, maybe we should go into business for ourselves. And they moved to a different bar for the act. Juggling bottles and ice cubes and all that type of stuff. And actually, that stuff was from a GTIF thing out of TGI Fridays in Manhattan. So So it says, oh, then Tom Cruise gets the idea. Look, if we go to Jamaica, we can earn more money down there than here in Manhattan because there's no taxes. So we earn enough money to open up one place. After about a couple of seasons, we can really be making in the dough. And of course, they got into a fight, which I'm not going to get into for those of you who have never seen the movie. And so, of course, Tom Cruise goes to Jamaica for a couple of years, and then he meets reunited with Brian Brown character. And at first, he's still I guess they kind of made up, but not really. And then they made up after the fight that they had. And of course, at that time, Tom Cruise meets Elizabeth Shue, who of course was from, we said earlier, from the Karate Kid movies. And I think this was really her first really adult role. Because she did, like I said, the first Karate Kid film. Then she did Adventures in Babysitting. And so she really went to college, does those two movies, and then, she did this one, and all of a sudden, boom, she's playing an adult role. And of course, they fell in love with each other. But then Tom Cruise went off with another woman on a bet. So she leaves, and then she finds out and tells Tom Cruise that she's pregnant. And then they ended up getting involved and said, "Hey, we got." He says to his uncle, or Tom Cruise says to his uncle, "You got this girl pregnant." So he says, "Why don't you marry this girl?" So he wants to marry her, or at least try and work out the relationship so he can take care of the kid. And the girl at first says, "It's okay." And then it says, let me think about it. And then his father or Elizabeth Shue's father tried to pay him off. And so Tom Cruise says, "Well, this is how I hung up money on him. This is what your father's idea of me getting out of your life, getting rid of me out of your life." So he rips up the check. You're gonna care more about you and our kid than the money, or your father's money. And then, of course, he finds out that. Decides to fight for it and gets to Shue's character out, and then he convinces us, "Look, I'm gonna work it out and deal a loan from my uncle, and build my own bar. And I know I have the ability to improve myself. I just want to prove it to you that I could do it. I know I have the ability to do it, but that's why I want to make you believe that I could do it." And she convinces him, and he convinces her, and she goes off with him. And the father says, cuts Elizabeth Shue off because he didn't want her to be involved with a stupid womanizing bartender. But the subplot with, I don't want to give away the subplot with Brian Brown's character, but I don't want to ruin it for you. Because the tragic thing happens with him, and I'm not going to say what. But as a movie itself, I think it's obviously not the greatest movie in the world, but it's an entertaining movie. It's a type of role that Tom Cruise had at that time, where all he has to do is fall in love with the leading lady and flash his smile, the $1 million smile. And that's it. But in terms of, I guess it was a typical Tom Cruise movie in the 80s, because this is coming off of Top Gun. So of course in 1988 and 89 were big years for Tom Cruise, because he came out with another movie in 1988 called Main Man, I think previously did a review of. And of course, the next year he came out with Born on the 4th of July, which in my opinion he should have won an Academy Award for in that performance in that movie. So that's a review of Cocktail. Please, if you haven't seen any of my other videos, please check them out. Because I still have some videos that, for some stupid reason, don't even have 10 views on. Hell, the videos don't even have 2 views on. So please check my out my other videos. Keep watching them and click on Medium. Please feel free to comment. Please subscribe to my channel, and please follow your or link the videos or share my videos on your Facebook pages. Thanks for watching.